Welcome to Whose Line Is It Anyway, the improvisation programme which combines all the excitement of a game of cricket, all the good sportsmanship of an FA Cup tie, and all the dignity of an athletics urine test. Featuring tonight, making a welcome return to the show, Jim Sweeney, and then making a welcome return to Jim Sweeney, Steve Steen, then the man who brings a smile to everyone's lips except his own, Paul Merton, and finally the man who has more talent in his little finger than in several other parts of his body, Tony Slattery. With a truly enthusiastic audience, we start with a game called Authors. It's for all four contestants who'd like to come down, and they're going to tell a story now. Well, they're going to get the audience to suggest the title of the story, but they're each going to adopt the style of a favourite author. So who's your author, Jim?
Agatha Christie.
Agatha Christie. Yeah. Jolly good. Steve?
Andrew Morton.
Andrew Morton, yes. Ooh, a very unpopular author, one of our royalist members of the audience. And Paul?
Hello Magazine.
Yes, and Tony?
The rhyming couplets of Rupert Bear.
Got a fine selection there. And now, can we have a title? Make up a title for a story?
Death of a stand-up comic.
Death of a stand-up comic. That's two or three of them with some experience of that. So, away you go. I'll buzz when I've got the idea of your story.
Inspector Throgmorton surveyed the scene. There lay Charlie Chuckles. He was dead. Miss Marple entered the room. What do you make of it, Miss Marple? The frail old lady looked at him and said, I've still got all my own teeth, me!
I stopped him throwing himself down the stairs just at the last moment. It could have been so much bad for him.
So much bad for him.
That's Andrew Morton for you.
Paul.
As he came down the stairs, the elegant stairs built in the 17th century but not finished until 1958, he caught my eye and I realised here was a man very much in love. Him and Di surely have got a marriage made in heaven.
Rupert spied his trousers on. Much nicer they were than Paul Merton's. With this thought in his head, he leapt out of the window. Then he wept, for he did see along the street someone who he thought was a bit of a geet.
You're babbling, Miss Marple, said Throgmorton. You're talking in rhyme. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you, I was so depressed I threw myself and tried to impale myself on Barbara Cartland's eyelashes, but it just didn't work.
Barbara Cartland, can there be a more respected woman in Great Britain?
Barbara Cartland, witch and hag, too much makeup, fascist bag.
27 points each there, plus a libel suit against Tony from Cartland's lawyers. Let's go to a game called Film and Theatre Styles. Paul and Tony, if you'd like to come down. I'm going to give them a scene, but I'd like some theatrical styles, some film styles for them to do it in.
Film noir.
You're working as a team tonight, aren't you, Agatha? Any more? Sorry, Peter Jones? That's a shop in London. Doctor Who. Yes, we haven't done that for...
Nativity play.
Horror, melodrama... Sorry, what was that?
Agatha Christie.
Agatha Christie. Right. All they have to do it for 40 years, that's what they got. OK, that's good. Now, let's hope... Now, what are you going to do? Tony, you're a prisoner, and Paul, you're the jailer. So that's the scene you have to do. I'll give you the film styles as we go along.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I don't deserve to go in there.
I think you're as guilty as hell after that last week.
Go on, in you go. In you go. Go on. In you go. When are visiting hours?
They're between 8:30 and 9:30, every third Sunday.
What a cruel life this is.
Horror.
What a horrible suit.
That's good coming from somebody who's dressed up as Doc Holliday.
This is just lapsing into personal abuse. It's just abuse.
You shut your face.
Well, let's... you're already getting there already, but do children's nativity.
And then the jailer said to the baby Mary that there's no room in the jail.
forgotten it.
I did that in a nativity play. I burped, so that's why.
Yeah.
So it's like personal, isn't it?
Yes. You're lapsing into nostalgia now. Film noir.
Listen, Norris, you're never going to get out of this. Yes, Norris, that's your name. Bert Norris. You're never going to get out of this prison. I'm going to turn the light off. Look.
Yes, it's interesting the way the light...
Hello, where's the cigarette cover? What's all this? Excuse me while I just get on my moped.
It's a long time since you've been on this show, isn't it, Paul? Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. Oh, look, it's Doctor Who, look!
Have you noticed this cell is bigger inside than it is outside?
Yes, but you can say the same thing about my underpants.
No, you can't. And let's end on pirate film.
Arr, I know what we'll do. Yes.
Dyslexic pirate.
I'm gonna swing through those bars and then I'll be outside. Quick, come on, me hearties, let's break out of jail.
But I'm the jailer.
Let's end there. I can't take any more of this. Right. Well, I'm going to give 54 points to Tony there, and I'm afraid -9 points to Paul for taking it all too seriously. So let's move on now to a game called Foreign Film. This is for Jim and Steve. They're going to act out a film in a foreign language, but to help us, Paul and Tony will translate for them, more or less as we go along. So what language, sort of language you like to have? See if that's done?
Swahili.
Turkish is good. That's Turkish. Don't often get Turkish. And a title for a film. Somebody else got a title for the film.
Going to Scotland.
With a bit of Turkish in it somewhere. Well, a journey from Turkey to Scotland. It certainly could be in Turkish, or just going to Scotland. That's the title of the film, and in Turkish and translated for us by our translators.
I've got terrible wind.
Did you see the Eurovision Song Contest last night?
Gwent.
Bucks Fizz come from Gwent.
I've just said exactly the same thing as I did the first time.
Can I borrow a cigarette?
Sure, take the pack.
At my age, you're starved of love.
Well, I must be off.
Coochie, coochie, coo.
It'll cost you 50 quid.
Well, my apologies to the Turkish community and also to the Scottish community because they never got anywhere near Scotland, unfortunately. So I'll give no points anyway.